Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
Welcome to the RiverCityGamers Podcast, SCXCR.
I'm Unreal.
And I'm Zeromaster.
And before we get started today, I have to address what happened with the previous podcast. Okay, for those of you who don't know, last podcast I talked about a game called Motor Rock. I went into extensive detail on it there, but to make a long story short, I said it was a fun but flawed game. And this was apparently enough to have a bunch of angry Russians cuss us out, downvote the YouTube upload, and otherwise make it our most viewed episode of the podcast to date.
Woo!
Yeah, spring break!
As such, I would like to congratulate those people for accomplishing the exact opposite of what they intended. But on the same notion of things they probably shouldn't be doing, this witch hunt-like activity has extended to other people who made videos or otherwise talked about the game, most notably Total Biscuit, yet another person who said he had fun with the game. There's one small problem with all of this. There's a site called SteamCharts.com which monitors user population counts for Steam games and applications. For example, in the last 24 hours, Team Fortress 2 peaked at about 75,000 players. Path of Exile peaked at almost 15,000 players, and Dota 2 easily eclipses both of those at over 640,000. Motor Rock has a 24-hour peak population of 31 people. What's more, the most users on Motor Rock at one time ever is 334. Motor Rock still isn't available for purchase, so its community is primarily composed of those who got the game before its store page was taken down, and a handful of people who missed the boat. By attacking not only the people who like the game, but are part of the select in-game user base, all you're doing is destroying your game's community from the inside out, turning them away from the game, or at least the multiplayer option, something that I doubt the developers of the game who are still trying to get the game available again would be particularly happy with. Until Motor Rock's store page comes back, and I'm hoping that it does, just know this, Motor Rock community, I'm still a fan. I still play Motor Rock. And I hope this game comes back in some form and succeeds not because of you, not with you, but in spite of you.
Gaming news.
Fuck it, that's the transition.
God, no!
Gaming news! So real.
Something interesting happened when it came to a certain streamer not too long ago. A streamer known as Phantom Lord, who usually streams games like League of Legends, Dota 2, and the like of that, pretty much got involved with a hacker group. And by that, I mean the hacker group pretty much started attacking the servers of games that he specifically played. And there was a Twitter, talk between it, saying, if anything, the group said that if Phantom Lord lost his current game of Dota 2, it would bring down the game's servers. And he did lose, and the server went completely down. So he went to different games to play them, and the hacker group, which is known as DERP, what a great fucking name. Can you be even more original?
Why do hacker groups have such awful names?
Like Poop, or
Lolsec.
Dick Butts, or Lolsec. Oh, Jesus. But every game Phantom Lord went to, the hacker group sent the servers down, including, funnily enough, Club Penguin.
Happy birthday, son!
And not only that, a couple of EA servers also went down from this group also. So in other words, these threats have been consistent, but the big thing that I want to talk about is, basically, Phantom Lord got DDoSed. He got DOS-boxed. Is that the term?
DDoS? Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom Lord got DDoSed, which means that he basically had his personal info and phone number leaked on the internet. And as a result, he eventually got a visit from the police. And they were told that he had... And the police were told that Phantom Lord, or the actual guy's name, James Varga, the police were told that he was holding 4 people hostage and basically had an automatic gun pointed at him, put in handcuffs, and sat in the back of a cop car. And 6 policemen went through his whole house. So, in other words, he got arrested for something he didn't do. The good news is he got out just fine because the police eventually found out that it wasn't even, like, real. Like, the whole phone call was a hoax. Most likely from the hackers. Yeah. That really escalated quickly.
It's funny because, like, their name is Derp. And when he asked them why they were doing this, and they responded for the lulz. Okay, guys, you're making lulsec look good. And lulsec wasn't good.
The funniest part of all this is that this hacker group, basically weren't hacking at all. Everything they did was DDoSing, which is incredibly easy. Most people can fucking do it with zero effort.
DDoSing is like entry-level hacking. It's not really, it's not difficult, and you don't necessarily need people to do it. But, because it's so easy for anyone to do, if you have a whole bunch of people doing it, aka a group, then it's easier to take things down. Like, the Westboro Baptist Church website is probably one of the most visited websites on the planet because it gets DDoSed all the time.
Wow. Now, I never actually heard of Phantom Lord before this story, and, like, based on what he streams, I wouldn't really care about what he does. However, I still feel kind of bad that this happened to him. He says he's okay after, which I gotta give respect for that. He's doing fine after it, even though he clearly was shooken up about the whole thing. He even made a about 30 to 40 minute video detailing the whole story a little bit more, if you want to look it up. It's easily on YouTube.
I actually checked out some of it. He said he hadn't slept in like 24 hours and that he barely had eaten anything. So he was fucked up.
Yeah, but he's pulling through it, which is definitely good, so it could have been a lot worse. Thankfully, it didn't escalate to that, but still, DDoSing is for fucking noobs.
Yeah.
Let them DDoS YouTube. That would be funny as hell.
Yeah! That made me super
DDoSing YouTube is quite a feat because it's really hard to do.
Think there's really any skill among these people.
Yeah, it's not like when PlayStation Network went down. That was different.
That was major.
But that was Sony's fault because they didn't have their fucking Apache up to date. And that's like a no. No. When a new update for Apache comes out, you fucking update. Sorry, I'm getting into my web design phase mode.
Well, the next story is square-enix.
Oh boy!
Specifically, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, whatever.
What they do this time?
It has to do with some exclusive DLC.
Okay.
Exclusive DLC, which they made publicly available for purchase by accident.
I heard about this one.
Oh.
There was supposed to be some custom DLC that was only supposed to be available via a V-Jump strategy guide through Shueisha, the DLC is a costume that allows you to resemble Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. Because we can't nickel and dime 7 enough.
And never remake it.
It's funny. I just watched recently, like, somebody posted a panel that Spoony did talking about Final Fantasy, and he was basically like, why are they releasing DLC? Why don't they just remake the fucking game? I'm still like, they're probably holding out until they don't have enough money. Till they just have enough money to do the remake, and they're like, well, we'll sell this and make a ton of money.
And it's too late.
If they do that, that's a interesting business plan. But along the same lines, you're familiar with Riot Games, right?
So I remember what?
Riot Games.
Name sounds familiar.
League of Legends.
Oh.
Never mind.
Never heard of them.
There was a Reddit poster that was quite critical of Riot Games and their business practices. Let's just say what they are, microtransactions. And accused Riot Games of being, quote, very, very greedy about this. And the company co-founder and president, under his usual alias, went to Reddit, got in the thread, and let loose a bunch of comments to try and set the record straight.
The president.
Yes.
My fellow Americans, League of Legends is a bad game.
What did he say?
Just a couple of things that he said. Quote, "We did this by building a really fun game, constantly investing over and over to grow and improve this game, and by not selling power or being money hungry. Millions upon millions of our players spend $0 on League and enjoy it endlessly." And I just want to mention this part because he goes a little crazy with the caps lock. "Retrain our entire company to drive towards engagement!" Meaning, make cool shit! And deliver value! And if people play enough because they love what we do, then they will want to spend money.
Jeez, I need to just find, like, a post that has a bunch of, like...
Gamefly reviews.
That has text like that, where it's, like, all small letters, and then there's, like, one word is, like, all caps. Because I love hearing you read them.
Gamefly reviews. Easily.
Riot Games president says the darndest things.
Oh, God.
No, can't make a series off of that.
And that's basically it. The guy just was like, well, shit.
No, you guys are liars! Hate gaming!
I wish I could comment more on this, but I don't play League of Legends, nor do I ever plan to.
Well,
Same.
we have friends like Mike who play League, but I still don't understand the concept of League of Legends. Like, it looks like it's an interesting game, but it's just like, it's just like any other free-to-play MMO/MOBA to me. Don't really care.
Alright then, well, shall we stay within the realm of PCs and instead talk about Steam?
Sure.
Specifically, holiday Steam sales.
Oh.
How successful was it? Because I'm pretty sure some of us definitely bought stuff in the sale.
Well, I'm going to focus in on just this one select studio, Q Games. Because they had a game that went on a Steam flash sale called Pixel Junk Eden, which I think was also on like the PlayStation Network or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is. Not too sure, though.
But anyway, the game released, it first released back in February of 2012. And then over the holiday, it went on one of those 8-hour flash sales. And in those 8 hours, they made the entire game's income to date again.
Wow.
So if anyone out there is ever wondering like how effective flash sales are as far as like being profitable, there's your answer.
Like, I know a lot of people are like, see Steam as this really great thing because like you can get games, like sometimes tons of games for next to nothing for the price. And I know Valve probably takes a cut of that, but the developers get most of the money, like, as far as I know.
And if I remember correctly, because I actually bought Pixel Junk Eden, I think it was like $1, maybe $2.
Wow. I don't even know what it is, but at that price, you can't really go wrong.
I'll get more into it later because I'll go over it slightly for recent pickups. But until then, let's move on to Criterion Games. First of all, are you familiar with Criterion, like what they do?
They made the Burnout games.
Yes, they did.
I don't know anything about them.
Well, the co-founders of Criterion Games have left Criterion Games.
Oh.
Not only that, the co-founders have left, and they are going to start a new company. At the moment,
we don't
that's
want EA.
At the moment, that's really all there is to report on that. They left. They haven't said what their future projects are. Don't even know what the name of the company is yet. But there you go.
I have a feeling they just don't want to be under EA's control anymore.
Yeah, maybe. This is the same studio which lost like 60-something people earlier in the year. And I might as well throw this in for the last story. The last story.
We ever gonna play that again?
Maybe.
Eh.
But this has to do with something else. Specifically, it relates to Uncharted.
Oh.
It's probably not what you think it is, but back around the time that Uncharted was first coming out, there's a interview with the co-president of Naughty Dog, who revealed that when they first did the Uncharted trailers and they decided that they were going to call the game Uncharted, there was a little bit of a disagreement about whether it should be called Uncharted. In particular, Phil Harrison, who was the executive vice president of Sony, didn't want the game to be called Uncharted, because Will said, quote, "We were all ready to go out with Uncharted, and then Phil Harrison caught wind of it, and he's like, no, we can't name it Uncharted. In the UK, if you have a game that's Uncharted, that means it didn't do well. It didn't crack the top 10. So he said, no, we can't do that. But we had this trailer we were showing in the press conference. He says, that's okay, just don't put a name on it. And we're like, okay. We had this whole end slate ready to go. I guess we'll put the Naughty Dog logo up there? The trailer ends and it just says Naughty Dog, and we still didn't know what to call it. And for those of you who remember around the time this came out, that's part of the reason that people started calling the game Dude Raider.
Dune Raider, really?
Yep. But then Harrison eventually caved and they called it Uncharted, and the rest is history.
Huh.
Yeah, Phil Harrison is a big piece of fucking shit. Guess where he is now?
Really?
Seriously, guess where he is right now?
A
I don't
soup
know.
kitchen.
No. He's with Microsoft, and you know how bad Microsoft is doing? Oh.
So basically, Phil Harrison goes to a company when they're at their worst?
Yeah, and doesn't fix shit, and I think actually makes it worse.
Okay.
No one likes Phil Harrison. He's retarded bad. He was there when the PS3 was at its ridiculous $600 price and shit. It's painful. Because it's funny that when he left Sony, Sony did better.
They're doing much better now, yeah.
So to all those people saying, like, you know, Iwata should be fired and stuff like... No. People like Phil Harrison need to be fired. Those are way fucking worse.
Okay, well, I guess I'll use my story. My story is Mega Man related. Shocker.
No!
Way!
As some of you might
I'm gonna
know,
go break shit!
Guys, shut up. Let me say my story. As some of you might know, there was a Kickstarter originally started for the Mega Man board game. And they just reached one of their stretch goals, which was a $275,000, and that was to add a roll figurine to the game. They have a prototype image actually up on, I'm reading this off of the Rockman Corner, which is Protodude's site. And it's available for anybody who got the deluxe bundle, or you can get it as an add-on for $10 if you want to add to the base game set. They also announced that there's going to be a Cutman stage upgrade stretch goal. So, I don't know. I'm not a big board game guy, but I'm a big Mega Man guy, so you know I'm going to have to look at this when it comes out.
And then Board James talks about it.
I guarantee you there's going to be either a board James or a table flip on this.
What was the last board game you played?
Like, I like board games, but I don't play them that often. The last board game I played would probably be Catan, but I didn't actually play Catan. I just sort of sat there going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, my brother is huge into Catan. He has, like, a whole bunch of the expansions, and he wanted me, and a bunch of people were playing, and they're like, we need one more person. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to play this, so... And then it just turned into be nothing but explanations for most of the game. You might... And I don't know if you count this as a board game, but the last game I played that was tabletop was AD&D Star Wars Edition. And we played... And I was DM, and we played Shadows of the Empire, so... That's technically the last one I can recall.
Hey, you know what other games I don't really know how to play well?
What?
Ones that aren't out yet. So why don't we look at ones that aren't out yet, but are going to come out soon?
You sly devil. What's up?
Okay, I haven't been keeping track of the LEGO games, but what is LEGO Movie Video Game?
It's basically the video game for the upcoming LEGO movie.
There's a LEGO movie?
Yeah, look up the trailer.
No.
No, seriously, look up the trailer.
You sounded so excited when you said that.
I did, because I'm kind of not.
Well, the only LEGO movie-related thing that I can remember is when they did that stupid, what was it, Chaotix or something? I don't know.
Isn't there some sort of, like, LEGO TV show about samurai or something?
Yeah. There's actually, I think, 2 different TV shows.
I know there's a LEGO Ninja game. I don't know. The LEGO series, I'm far behind. I still haven't completed LEGO Star Wars.
LEGO Marvel.
LEGO Star Wars is in, like, the first LEGO Star Wars?
I mean, like, both of them.
Oh.
I have the complete series on, PS3, but I played them, but I've never beaten.
Well, alright, let's move forward to lightning moving on.
Whoops.
Oh, here's a radical departure from that. Earth Defense Force 2025.
Yeah. I remember Corey talking about that the other day when he was here. He's like, oh yeah, 2025's coming out soon. I'm like, what? Yes!
Yeah.
27, okay, Earth Defense Force 2017 is fucking amazing. The Insect Armageddon game is okay, but it was made by the European studio, so it's not as good.
That's racist.
Well, they did a pretty good job. It's just not as fun as 2017. But 2025 is like the follow-up that I've been waiting for.
And moving on shortly after that, we have Lords of Shadow 2.
Oh.
Still need to play through the first one.
I kinda don't want to.
I still need to bring myself to give a shit about the first one.
Oh. Dracula, why?
Hey, remember when Super Castlevania 4 was a thing? Can we get another one of those, please?
Oh.
No, more Metroidvanias on the handhelds? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, instead of that, we'll get... Oh, hi, Square Enix. Fancy seeing Thief here.
The fourth? Nah, I know they're not calling it Thief 4. It's just called Thief, but...
You would kind of expect them to do that, though, wouldn't you?
I thought they originally were. I mean, after for 3 or anything's possible.
You know Leet is a thing, just saying.
Yeah, I still blame Drive 3R for fucking doing this. God, that was like the worst example, though. The absolute worst example.
Well, moving to the 3DS, Professor Layton and the Azeron Legacy.
Puzzle game. Don't care, really.
Tell that to Shadow, it'll fucking rip your throat out.
I want to play the Professor Layton games, but I kind of need a DS to do that. Oh.
God's sakes. We gotta get you a handheld
I have a handheld. I have a Game Boy Advance.
that you never play.
And a Game Boy Pocket.
That you probably also never play.
I have Final Fantasy Adventure on it. I play it when I'm bored.
Have you even played that River City Ransom game that you
Yes.
sniped?
Is it really sniping if I'm right in front of you when I do it?
I shouldn't have been a nice Canadian, and
No, it's my game!
I was actually looking at that before you got there, and I'm like, oh god. Picked it up.
You cannot help your blood.
At least you got me Metroid 2 after the 1 year I missed out on it when I should have gotten it. That's okay.
Alright, well, last thing I'll mention, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Yes!
Expand Dong. Wait, no.
It actually looks really, really good. And you get to play as Cranky Kong.
Yeah! Cranky Kong! No Lanky Kong, I'm sad. I need to piss off someone
I'm
by
sad there's no
wanting
Kitty
that.
Kong. Because they put Dixie and Cranky in it. Maybe they're saving Kitty Kong for the third one.
And then Lanky Kong comes back and everyone gets mad.
Just like, okay, Kitty Kong, I know he was just like a question for Donkey Kong, but really, come on, guys.
I still want
He's
to
gotta
play
be
as
grown up
Funky
now
Kong.
like Teenage Kong.
I still want to play as Funky Kong.
Fuck yes, that'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah! I mean, I'm pretty sure they said that he's in the game, but I want like a playable version of him.
And whenever there's a water area, you can just surf.
Or you can fly over it and it turns into like a side-scrolling shooter section.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
What should actually be that?
As much as I'd like to keep fantasizing about games that aren't out yet and how awesome they could be but probably won't be, why don't we talk about games that we got recently? And Zero, go first.
I thought you'd never ask. So I've covered most of the stuff I got in my year-end vlog, but I'll cover stuff that I actually got afterwards. Well, I technically got it before I did that video, but I didn't cover these because I got these after the whole Boxing Day madness. I got a gift card for a local pawn shop, so I went and I got some older games. So first up, one of these is actually one I can't talk about because it's not for me, it's for friends, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I also got, for $5, I got Power Moves for the Super Nintendo. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a bad fighting game by Kaneko.
I saw like 3 copies of that at the thrift store today.
I don't even know what it is. I've seen it for a long time, and I'm like, do I need another fighting game? I'm just like, why not? Now, I picked up one NES game, and I picked up Target Renegade. I have no idea what it is, but the cover shows a Chinese Rambo with a target on his fist kicking the screen, so that's old me. Alright, next for the PS2, and this cost me $2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I was originally going to hold out to get the HD collection that only comes with Budokai 1 and 3, but then I learned that they removed shit from 1 and 3, so I'm just like, Brock has 3, I already bought 2, might as well just rebuy one. Which, I wish they wouldn't do that with HD collections. Don't fucking change the game, just make it HD. And for the Wii, I actually got 2 games. One I've actually been wanting to get for a while. I got Fortune Street, which is that Japanese-style Monopoly game with Mario and Dragon Quest characters. And then this one I picked up for $5 because my brother picked it up and he's like, we should do this for the show. And then as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, Blondie is gonna hate me. It's Soul Calibur Legend. And my brother said to me, is it bad? I'm like,
oh yeah, it's bad.
Blondie says it's bad. I haven't played it myself, but it doesn't look that good. He's like, is it 2 players? I'm like, yeah. So.
Have quote-unquote fun.
Yeah. Fine.
This will probably be a one-off on Power Plays if we ever do it.
Just one episode's like, there, we're never playing it again.
All I'm gonna tell you all I can tell you about that game is, watch out for boulders.
Oh, I know. I saw Blondie's review again recently. I know all about the boulders. But yeah, that's what I got. So, Scott, I'll let you pass it off to whoever next.
Merry Christmas! Wrap your presents!
I put them back in the bag, and they fell out.
Oh no!
Okay, well, he's getting his bag together. Unreal, go.
I really don't know if I mentioned it last podcast, because I kind of forgot when we recorded the last one. But, for the 3DS, I did get the new Zelda Link Between Worlds game on Christmas. And I actually beat it before the end of 2013. It's really good. I do recommend it.
Sorry to cut you off there. My brother just beat it last night.
Yeah, I noticed it was kind of shorter than most Zeldas, I noticed.
I actually asked him, because I went to bed at like 2:30 last night in the morning, and he's like, oh, I've only got 1 dungeon left. And then I asked him this afternoon, when'd you go to bed last night? 6 in the morning? I'm like, 6!
Wow!
Like, but I beat Zelda. I'm like, oh, okay.
I got no sleep. Everything else I picked up was mostly Steam sale stuff. And that includes, let me just scroll through. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and these are all PC games, by the way. Also got, I also got La Mulana, Max Payne 1 and 2. There's also Natural Selection 2, Payday the Heist, Rise of the Triad. Actually, I think that's all of them. I would have gotten a little more in the Steam sale, but they're like for example, I would have gotten Battlefield 2, but when I was gonna get it, the sale ended, so I didn't get that much. And most of the games I downloaded, I can't even run, except for Max Payne 1 and 2. So there you go, I need a better gaming PC.
Okay, I had a rather interesting Christmas. Although, first of all, the ones that I got most recently, I got Sega Bass Fishing on the Dreamcast. There's a reason for that. Killer Loop on the PlayStation, a racing game I have never heard of. And also on the PlayStation, I got Kingsfield 2. It'll go nice with Kingsfield 1, which, if I remember correctly, is not actually Kingsfield 1. But going back to Christmas, my brother got me a $25 gift card to one of the retro places around here. I haven't actually used it yet, but also for Christmas, he randomly got me an NES game, To the Earth. And by pure dumb luck, he managed to get me an NES game that is Zapper only.
A Zapper game?
Yes.
Wow. Well, you might have to talk about that game on a particular show that Angel Halo is currently working on. / Jeff Goldblum.
a particular show which may or may not rhyme with the song by Fastball called The Way.
You mean the stocks or a pillory?
Yes, exactly.
It's a freaking hammer! As soon as I heard Jeff Goldblum, I had to follow it up with that.
Yeah. Although, moving on to Steam sales, I kinda went insane. Although, what I actually did was, I went back and found a bunch of the Humble Bundles that I bought, and I found all the games in those that I hadn't installed yet, tied them to Steam, got the Steam cards for them, and then used that money to buy more games. And this is the result. Shadow Warrior Classic Redux, Knit Underground, Really Big Sky, The Bridge. I believe this was gifted to me by Shadow, The Walking Dead. And then I got Gary's Mod, Trine 2, Draw Stickman Epic, McPixel, Left 4 Dead 2, which was free, and which crashed the Steam-powered store for like 8 hours or something.
It was a long time. Like, people couldn't even vote.
Oh well, what are you gonna do? I also got Rise of the Triad. Angel gifted me Payday 2. I also got Bastion, Gunpoint, Beat Buddy Tale of the Guardians, Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams, Pixel Junk Eden, which I mentioned before, and which is my favorite game ever to have its design partially inspired by grease stains. And then I also... long story. Then I also got Hammer Watch, Nihil Umbra, and finally Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
You know what that means. It's time for yet another Miami Connection watching.
Bullshit!
Take one!
Taekwondo.
And then Anime North was never the same.
I gotta remember to bring that again.
We're gonna watch it
If
again.
you forget, I have the digital copy from you.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
Even then, I don't know if I'd be able to hook it up to a hotel TV, but whatever.
We'll make a bunch of Dragon Sound shirts. How about that?
I want a Dragon Sound shirt, goddammit.
You better make them for everyone.
I have a red shirt. If I give it to you, can you stencil Dragon Sound?
Let me look up if Dragon Sound shirts actually exist.
I think they do.
If they do, I know what I'm doing after this podcast.
Oh, apparently they have an edition that I think comes with the shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Sleeveless tank top. Small, medium, large, extra large. $20. Get ready.
Oh my God.
Does it
Yeah.
come in triple X or quad X?
I sadly don't think so.
Fuck, I'll just make my own shirt.
Yeah, it's just XL. That's the highest. But oh man, that's fucking hype as hell. It's sleeveless. It's so good.
Okay,
Anyway.
before we get lost in the euphoria of Dragon Sound t-shirts or tank tops or whatever they are, let's go ahead and go into our discussion topic for today. Namely, what do you do about a troll?
Well, there's several easy steps you can take. Being one myself. But before I get into how to avoid trolls, let's talk about why we have to discuss this.
But I already did my Motor Rock spiel.
Okay,
And I already did my Arrest the Streamer Man thing.
ever since gaming went into the foray of online gaming, there's been I wouldn't say a trend, because now there are people making money off of it, of basically trolling. Now, what is trolling? Basically, it's being annoying. Probably the most common thought of the first thing when you think of trolling in video games is probably Xbox Live Call of Duty matches, because that's primarily where it is. But it has gone on to other things too, and now, I mean, you've got that whole, quote-unquote, hacking group called DERP, it's now gone to a level of really.
Really?
But I guess we should say, first of all, if you want to troll someone, it means you're getting under their skin, and you're constantly doing it to get a rise out of them. And sometimes you have easy targets, like those who have the most popular pages on Encyclopedia Dramatica, like Christian Weston Chandler and
Sailor Moon Red 1.
Sailor Moon Red 1, other people of that. Do they have a mental illness? The thing too about it is, to a lot of people don't realize, to trolls, it's just all in good fun. They really don't care. If you're getting pissed off, all the better to them. Me personally though, these days, when I troll, it's usually because I make a bad joke, or a joke that makes somebody go, God damn it. Where they have to stop for a minute and think, did he really just say that? Or, I can't believe he would say that. What the fuck? So, I think, when it comes to gaming, the most common types of trolls are like things like ventrilo harassment, which is pretty funny. Trying to talk shit on Xbox Live, and generally just being annoying in games. Though most people don't realize that the thing to get rid of them is to just either ignore them or block them. Eventually, they will get tired of annoying you.
That's usually the typical response, though. There can be some that will honestly persist.
Yeah, they will persist, but most trolls will give up after they realize, okay, this person's really not into, he knows what I'm trying to do, I'm just going to move on, sort of thing. But the problem is, most people don't. They respond, and then once you've started responding to the troll, you're stuck. These days, though, it can escalate to, near retarded levels. Memes are built around them these days. This is an old one, but it's the one I can think of. It's I'm calling the cyber police, when that one girl had that, what was it, that
father
who actually ended up dying from a heart attack. We were like, oh my god, when I found that out.
Is that the You Done Goof guy?
Yeah, You Done Goofed. Yeah, the You Done Goof guy. That's how memes are born. That was born out of trolling. But that was an easy target, because that was a 12-year-old girl going on to a video chat service that she should not have been there. In fact, this is the reason why most sites say, if you're under 18, you need parental consent to be here.
But they don't believe that, just like the ESRB.
If you're under 18, watch To Catch a Predator, and then consider.
Yeah. Where trolling has been made to make money is, these days, there's actually a channel that's dedicated to taking soundboards from popular TV and movie characters, and then playing those over in-game chats on Xbox Live or just other in-game chat services, or people who can impersonate the voices pretty good do that. Now, ventrilo harassment was really the big popular one that started the whole craze.
To the point where John St. John, Duke Nukem himself, supported the video about Duke.
Speaking of which, I was talking to Crows, one of the guys who was in charge of Magfest at that point, and actually brought up the idea for the ventrilo harassment trailer for that year's Magfest. And he was telling me a lot about it. By the way, Crows, really awesome guy. You've probably seen his name somewhere, because he has his hand in pretty much anything internet related in the nerd culture. So, yeah, you may have heard that name once before, but it's gotten to levels where people make videos out of that, and it's money making. There was a kid that I know who I used to work with, who that's all he did on YouTube. He was a smaller time channel, but that's all he did, is he made montages, or what he called loltages. Keep in mind, this kid's 16, so I let him get away with calling it a loltage before I facepalmed, but basically, that's where it's at now. The problem is, though, the real problem with trolling is, some people can't take it. And then, it just keeps going and going and going because trolls don't stop. Once they're on a roll, they don't stop. And anger is really popular. When people get angry, it tends to be easy troll bait too. So I guess a really simple idea, first of all, if you want to avoid trolling is, one, if you're going to play an online game and you don't care about the chat, turn it off.
Yeah, most of the time when I'm on like online games on Xbox, I don't even plug my mic in. The only time I do is if I talk with my fellow troll friends, actually.
Exactly.
Some of them are basically 4chan denizens, so I kind of deal with them, but it's kind of funny. Like, we're all friends though. But we kind of just pick on each other. Like,
exactly, yeah. That's playful trolling. There's nothing wrong with that.
Even though they could do actual trolling, but
speaking of though, with
they're never serious about it.
Speaking of though, back to online gaming, if you're playing with friends, don't use the default in-game chat. Use another alternative. Like, for instance, we play Monster Hunter. We don't use the in-game chat unless, well, Scott, you have a laptop now, so that won't be as big of a problem. But we would only use the in-game Monster Hunter chat because your Wii U's in another room from your PC. But most other times we just use Skype.
And with Xbox, we've got like again, with my friends, we mainly just go into party chat, especially if we play a game together, unless we intentionally go to the game chat and just go, yeah, motherfucker, get fucked, just for fun. Just
the thing though with a lot of in-game chats now is because they've got kids in here, they're the ones being the biggest bad mouths, and they're also actually a really easy target for trolling as well, because nobody likes, like, it's the biggest thing ever, like, or I'm gonna go on Xbox Live so I can watch 12-year-olds kick my ass. That's a common thing now, but it's like, if you want to piss off a kid, it's really easy to do it that way. And it's,
believe me,
and it's even funnier when the parents get involved, because they don't understand how online gaming works. There was actually not too long ago, there was a woman who chewed out a mod in Call of Duty because her son's Xbox Live account got banned because he reported them to Microsoft that he was violating the terms of service. Well, saying racist, sexist, using foul language in the game. Like, this kid may have got singled out, but when somebody has an obvious mod, whatever, in their name, you don't tell them to go fuck themselves. And this lady was bitching about it over the Xbox Live chat with this guy about how she was gonna sue, Microsoft and all this stuff. And it actually got to the point where the guy's boss said, offer them to reinstate their account, give them a couple free months of Xbox Live Gold, and the lady wouldn't fucking take it.
Wow, that's where the mom is retarded.
She was like, I want this and that, like making ridiculous demands, and the guy was just, it's the same sort of thing as if these mod guys had the same sort of job as phone techs and stuff like that, something I used to do, except they play video games on top of it. Of course, this guy's still playing Call of Duty while he's talking to the lady, so because he still has to do his job to make sure there's no hackers or anything, but it's just shit like that. Like, the parents don't understand, and it all stems back to the ESRB ratings, because parents don't fucking read them. So they let their 12-year-olds play Call of Duty, and then when they get pissed off at the regular players because they're trying to put their kids in their place. That's not bullying, that's teaching your kid not to be a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
I can't wait till we become parents and, actually, then if they grow up to be gamers, we're gonna be super smart about this because we know what to fucking do.
It's funny too, because there's this new YouTube-based documentary called Why We Play Games, and it's a whole bunch of YouTubers coming together to talk about like retro gaming and whatnot. And this one guy, he has kids now, and he's like, his kids are young kids. He's not gonna, they want to play video games, and their friends play all the video games. He's like, no, we're gonna play Super Mario Brothers first, and I'll let you see if you can play that first. Or like, there's adult trolling too. Like, one of my favorite ones was actually a 4chan post I saw about a guy who had this spoiled brat kid who's like, I want this, I want an Xbox, and I want Call of Duty because all my friends have it, and you never buy me anything. Where? So the father says, okay, I'll make you a deal. I will buy you an Xbox 360 and get you this game, but you have to beat one of my games from my childhood. He's like, okay. Dusts off his nest, puts in Silver Surfer, hands him the controller, and says, have fun.
I know that's really hard, but what about Ninja Gaiden? Or Ninja Gaiden 3, where you can't have infinite continue.
Dad, I want Ninja Gaiden for the 360. Ninja Gaiden 3 for the 360. Okay, but you have to beat the NES version first.
You have to beat Ninja Gaiden Black. Good fucking luck.
I think.
Actually, don't play Ninja Gaiden, please.
Like, there's some brilliant trolling out there.
No.
There's the trolling you want.
Beat Battletoads and come back.
Oh my god. Fuck you.
Hey, don't give him the Japanese version. Japanese version is actually easier.
Scott, you barely said anything. Do you have anything to add to this?
Not particularly, although I do want to ask you, for the trolls that are particularly annoying or have ill intent, what is your opinion on, like, companies that try and put in things like user voting, vote kicking, or matchmaking that tries to pull those types of players away from the people who are quote-unquote good players?
The problem with that is it is a interesting system. And actually, I used to play a game called, just as an example, I used to play a game called Guns the Duel. I actually want to play the sequel, but I haven't had a computer that could run it till now. So, with Guns the way it was, the user community the modding was really, really terrible, and people would hack all the time. So they created this thing called anti-hack, which was technically also a hacking tool, but what it would do is it would ban the IP address of the person who was hacking from you. So you couldn't kill them, and they couldn't kill you in-game. So something on that level, I could see working really well, and I mean, like, for trolling, like voting and whatnot to get people kicked from a room. That can be exploited really easily, though, too.
Yeah, the voting is a flawed system.
Like voting is, while it's the fair system, it's also can be the unfair system, because if there's a bunch of people picking on one kid and they want him all out of their game just because they want to be douchebags, they can just all vote him out.
Yeah, and since they have majority, the vote will most likely, like, succeed, because with most voting systems, it has to have a certain number, not just one guy votes, that guy is out, because that would be super exploited.
I know there's also, in some games, there's also a cred system where, like, if somebody is, like, you know, being abusive, you can give them bad cred, and then it means they can't get into certain parts of the game, or they get reported or whatnot. But that can be abused just as much as well, because if there could be a really, really good player in a game and thousands of people, like, say he has a YouTube channel and he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers, well, he could have hundreds of thousands of haters too, and they could all downvote him. He could get banned from the game, even though he didn't do anything. It's hard because you can't moderate these things 24/7. Some games have staff, like Call of Duty. They have actual mod staff who go into games and take care of this stuff to make sure people aren't cheating, harassing other players and whatnot. But voting just seems to be there as a option because a lot of games don't have the money to hire a staff to do that sort of thing. So I'm fine with voting to an extent. If it's being abused, that's when there's a problem. I know that some games are trying to implement options where they can stop it from being abused, like if it's being used in a certain way, then it can be, you know, if somebody enters and after you kick them so many times, they can't be kicked anymore, or the voting just gets turned off for a certain amount of time, something like that. But in most cases, it's usually, again, going back to Guns when I used to play it, whenever somebody would put up voting, they would usually kick somebody who was hacking or somebody who was just being annoying in the game. So that's usually the only time. But it can be used on the flip side too. If somebody's doing really good in the game and everybody just hates them, they can kick them out too. It's double
Or
sword.
in other cases, let's say, I can't remember, but I'm not sure how the voting system worked in natural selection. With that game, each team, like, one person can be the commander, and if one person goes in the command seat, some people can get pissed and kick them out. It's like, no, I want to be commander. You're stuck as commander. You're a new guy. Because, yeah, don't give new players a chance to, try the features of your game and lock them out of it. Just to see if it's for them, but no. I can't remember if that game and its sequel has a vote system where you could kick players based on that, or how it worked. But I think there is a boot commander option, which a lot of people, when I play natural selection, I've witnessed.
I think in a game like that, I think it's better that the role just changes every match. Like, if somebody's going to be whatever commander or whatever, they can't be commander for another whatever match as to how many people are there. I think that's a better system in terms of that. But then you get weak players.
Then then everyone would complain and whine like they all.
That's true.
I really don't have much to add on this, because I'm the guy who usually avoids multiplayer whenever possible.
Basically, I guess we should end like this. If you want to avoid getting trolled in games, just take precautions that either keep you away from it, or if you're going to be in those games with randoms or like in-game chat, the default in-game chat with games, someone's trying to get a rise out of you. Stop, think for a moment, and just ignore them. Eventually, they will get bored. Even the most, persistent of trolls will eventually stop because they won't care. Because they're not getting what they wanted. And I mean, it might sound hypocritical for me to say, because I troll and have been trolled several times before, and I'm sure it's gonna happen again both ways. But it's not a good idea to get mad over it, and it's not a good idea to, start saying things you regret, because it could come back on you. Again, most commonly in Xbox Live, when somebody's getting trolled, they go back by saying, racist and things, and you're a motherfucker, and I raped your parents, or something bad like that. And then they end up getting the shit end of the stick because they get banned. Because trolls can also report you. Anyways, that's my take. I talked mostly for this segment. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, you basically cover base, like, pretty much the whole basis of this,
Scott, did you
whole
pick this on
topic anyway.
purpose?
Maybe.
Well, it should have just been Zero-only podcast then. Goodbye.
Welcome to the Zero Cast.
And
are we gonna have another defector? We're gonna have to kick another guy?
No. Why don't we just RCG Team Canada?
You know what, Zero, since you like talking so much, why don't we move on to your questions?
Yeah.
And you get to answer, or viewer question, singular. And,
Better than last time.
well, yeah. Actually, this question is from the podcast before, because Google did that thing with YouTube comments where it won't show the entire thing unless you mouse over it, and I just discovered that this one was there the whole time. So the question is from, of course, Go! And he says, what non-video game franchise would you want to see made into a video game, and what kind or genre? Now, Zero, you said that you had some ideas for this one.
Yep, and it's a throwback. Miami Connection as a beat 'em up.
In the same vein as Double Dragon Neon.
Sort of, but there
What about Jim?
Not only that, there has to be a rhythm game segment when you're playing in the club.
And it needs to be programmed better than the Naked Brothers Band game.
And also there has to be a adventure / multi question / answer segment when they talk about what's his name's father.
Oh god. Like,
What do you know about your father? My father was a...
and then go on for 10 minutes.
Do you remember
because
who
you
your
picked
father
the best
was?
option. My father left me at a young age.
Another one I want to see is, and this is, I want to see that guy with the glasses tournament fighter.
Like Full House tournament fighter?
Yeah, and I want like, I want it to be like the Kamen Rider fighting games in the sense where, like, when you get your special, they power up to another form, because so many people have characters on that site. Like, Linkara becomes 90s Kid, and even though he's not with the site anymore, Spoonie's on there, and he becomes Dr. Insano when he uses his special move. And then just have a Dr. Insano mode where all the versions of Dr. Insano that exist duke it out. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh god, now that I think about it, I actually did have an idea. Oh god, and I can't believe I'm about to elaborate on this. Okay, Zero, you wouldn't know, you're Canadian, and Scott, you didn't have cable. Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network already had, like, something made into a video game a couple of times, whether it be their own individual series, or more recently, that Smash Brothers-ish type of game.
Oh, Punch Time Explosion?
Yep.
I still need to get that.
Console version's better, has Johnny Bravo.
Okay.
But I was thinking, why not do something with, like, a bunch of Cartoon Network characters in a GTA-style environment? Because I'm gonna backtrack a bit, but back in roughly the early-ish 2000s, Cartoon Network started doing bumps where they showed this entire city where it basically contained elements of the cartoons together in one whole city. The characters interacted between, like, commercials and shows. I want a Grand Theft Auto game kind of like that. I mean,
well, I know about the shows that are on
if it could work.
the Cartoon Network, because we got them here too, but even though we didn't have the channel, but, like, you mean, like, sections for, like, Dexter's Lab and,
Yeah, and let's say for one game, let's take the Grand Theft Auto 5 approach, and have the main characters be Ed, and Eddie that you could switch between, like Grand Theft Auto 5. Think about that. Double D could be the black guy, because
Double D sons of bitches.
No. Eddie could be like Michael, who's the rich guy, because Eddie's the most money-hungry out of the entire, like, Eds. And Ed could be Trevor, because they're both dirty. Except Trevor's not nearly as retarded as Ed. Just an idea, but... Or we could do another one with the same idea, but instead of having 3 characters, it could just be focused on one. Mordecai from Regular Show. And have his own storyline around the city.
You just gave me a stupid idea based on a pun name.
What?
We need a game called Adult Swimulator. Where you get to play levels as Adult Swim characters, and in their retarded, you know, worlds, like C-Lab and Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Even though Aqua Teen Hunger Force did get a golfing game that's really bad.
Oh, don't remind me of that. We gotta play that on Power Plays.
Reminds me of the freaking Anime North guys. It's like, dude, I can't believe someone's actually getting that. I gotta tell the guy that someone actually bought it.
I told the guy, I'm like, we're getting this just to play it once in a...
Never again.
And then never again, to laugh at it.
Those guys are great.
Oh, they're great. I can't wait to see them again.
They better be there again.
Oh, they will.
If I'm going. Like, I'm like, yo, it's you guys again. I'm buying all the games by. But, that's the main idea. It's actually been circulating in my head for a while. Especially the Regular Show focused GTA thing with the Cartoon Network City.
I just thought of a good one.
What?
Schwarzenegger the video game.
Huh?
I know that some of his movies have been turned into video games, but a Schwarzenegger game where you can play through each level as a different movie thing.
Oh god.
Like one level could be Commando.
No.
Another level could be Jingle All the Way.
I understand what you're going for, but after 007 Legends, I'd say no. Please, no.
You mean you don't want to play a kindergarten cop level?
Well, I would, but fuck. But put the cookie down now.
The loading screen pro tip for that level would be stop whining!
Stop whining, play game.
My ideas as far as like franchises into games, they're kind of bad. I don't know why, but the first thing that came to mind for me was the Red Green Show. Taking that, making it a kart racer in the style of like Rock and Roll Racing or the later Top Gear games where you can like upgrade your ride in various ways.
Scott, did you think of this? Have you seen Duct Tape Forever?
Part of it.
Did that by chance influence your decision?
Possibly.
God damn it.
Well, how about a foobar game where all you do is throw a boomerang that falls on the ground? And it just be the whole game. Just a flash game. Alright, try to throw a boomerang. And that's it. Yeah.
What, foobar? How about a minigame where you have to forklift beer into the back of a car?
God damn it, I was gonna say that!
You love that movie, don't you?
It's special.
I missed most of it. The only thing I really saw was the boomerang throwing, and that's all I remember from it.
Or a game where you have to, like, avoid going to the doctor and talk about your testicle cancer.
Just a simple minigame collection. Because nothing makes fucking sense.
Have a mini game where you operate on your own testicular cancer in the style of Trauma Center. My other ideas are kind of stretching the definition of franchise. Because, like, I don't know why, but the first thing that actually came to mind for me was, like, a top-down shoot-'em-up with the Vlasic Pickle Stork.
What? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
and, another idea I had was, I've linked you guys some of the Norton Furniture ads, haven't I?
Possibly.
Around where I lived when I was up near Cleveland, there was this store called Norton Furniture, and the guy who owned it would do these advertisements for it, where he always says the exact same thing, but there's always like this really out of place background shit. And,
oh, I've seen this. Yeah, you've linked this to us.
yeah, like the one with the frog on the couch, that it turns out it's a guy in a suit the whole time. And then he tips over because under the couch is Goulardi, and he attacks the owner with hedge clippers trying to get his ponytail.
I don't think I've seen those. You better link those after this.
I've seen these.
It's the one with the guy who goes, "Good news for people who have credit problems. Norton Furniture is here for you." That one.
I don't think I've seen them.
I don't know how it would work, but I would take that and turn it into like a psychedelic puzzle game of some sort. It's kind of like Super Hexagon.
Oh god.
And it would just be the Norton Furniture guy trying to dodge his furniture and all the weird shit that he keeps in the back room of his store.
Sure, why not?
Why not? You know how many games are created under the pretense of why not?
Or as my Uncle Dennis would say, why wouldn't you?
I could go on, but honestly, I'm kind of struggling to like fully flesh out ideas for things. So unless anyone else has anything to add to this.
No, my Cartoon Network GTA thing was my main idea that, God, I wish I could elaborate on, like, way more.
How about a
But it'd be so embarrassing, but shit, it's a dream.
How about a Mega Man oh wait, that is a game franchise. It's just been so long since the game came out that I forgot.
Oops. Or how about a K-On! Rhythm game? Oh wait, there is one. How about a proper one where I can actually play Rock Band instruments on them? Please. Please. Never gonna happen. Japan's too small.
Well, if you want a question answered on this podcast, you can go ahead and ask it in the YouTube comments or on the site upload. You can also ask us in a private message, or you can ask us on the Facebook account, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers. Get your questions to us however you can. We need something to do.
And if you try to comment on YouTube, let's hope to God Google Plus doesn't erase it for no reason.
They've worked out the kinks now. Mostly.
Yeah, what the hell happened?
Well,
I missed
Google
the angry
happened.
Russian comment about fucking in the American ass.
It's a piece of shit cookie.
That's what it does sound like. That or Iron Sheik.
Fucking bullshit.
Fuck the motorrocket American jabroni asshole!
Hulk
Now I'm just
Hogan.
imagining those wrestling promos, except all they do is cut together the breaths.
Oh, I want an Iron Sheik mod for like the commentator for Motor Rock. Jabroni motherfucking dominating race!
Fucking bullshit.
That'll be the sound whenever you die.
Yeah, every time you die, just that.
Let's move it. We could go on like this for a really long time, so let's just go to video updates. And Unreal.
Oh, okay. So, not much to update on, but this month I am going to record for my next review. Ooh. Mostly the game footage, mainly. I'm gonna get that first, script, and then do live action stuff if necessary, and then whatever. I mean, I have a deadline this month for getting the game footage, or else I can't get game footage anymore without stealing from YouTube. And that would make my video look like shit. However, I probably will have to take some YouTube footage, as well as giving credit to the videos as well, because there may be some things in the game that I just simply can't get anymore. So there's that. That will be mostly working this month. I still have to upload, I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but my Fish McBites Menu Madness that got removed from Blip because my Blip account got terminated with the majority of us. That I never upload to YouTube, and I just simply have to. It's an older episode that has already been on the site. It just needs to go on YouTube for syndication and shit, you know. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers LP, I say I'm still gonna do it. I still am. I just haven't had time to sit down and record the voiceovers, which is all I need to do. But most of my problem is with the footage I got. Vegas just likes putting it out of sync, and it is infuriating.
Did you record it all in one sitting?
Yes.
Did you record multiple parts, or is it all one recording?
I recorded a video for every level, so it's in parts. I'm just saying, in general, because of Instant DVD Recorder, at least I hopefully won't have to use that thing ever again after that point. So, if I could get past those issues, it won't be as much as a pain in the ass. And it started becoming a pain in the ass in the second video, which is why it's been taking so long. I could have been done way earlier, but it's hard. It's just not a fun thing to deal with. I had to deal with it with my Operation Raccoon City review, which, since there was so much, it was very infuriating to cut shit together without it fucking up, you know? But outside of that, that's mainly it. I'm gonna mainly start my next review, and it's gonna be a regular review, not Ain't Got Games. I will bring that back, though, because, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next one. I am, like, juggling between 3 games now for that. But, whatever. This review comes first, because I'm running out of time with the game itself before it's basically gone forever. No use at all. But that's just for me. One of you guys go ahead and take over.
I'll go ahead and go next. I am still getting all the recording and scripting done for the next part of the Bloody Roar retrospective. Although, I go back to class this week, so progress is going to be slowed down a little bit. And then beyond that, like I said, I have the next $5 gaming planned out. And I actually didn't say it in the pickups, but I got another game related to the $5 game, which I'm going to include as part of that episode. Beyond that, I got a bunch of research done, so when I do the next Hindsight Miscellanea, which will follow the Bloody World retrospective, that should be ready to go. And in other news, I am still working on the 16-bit winter playthrough of Beyond Oasis, so expect that within like a week or so. And Zero.
When Shenmue?
Never.
Go Zero.
You will finish that. Anyways, so for my video updates, I'm not going to go into the other things. I'll just start. There was supposed to be... I got sick this week, and I'm still sort of recovering from it, but I've hit the worst of it already. This week, new Power Plays episodes were supposed to go up, but unfortunately, we ran into some technical issues, so unfortunately, those episodes are getting pushed back till this coming week. Well, by the time this goes up, they should be up, but... yeah, we couldn't... It took us a while to figure out the problem. Now we seem to have figured it out, sort of. And we're going to go from there. And we already have a huge backlog of videos for that series, so... Yeah. But anyways, review type stuff. I'm going to be getting back into releasing Henshin Times on a more regular basis, because that has a huge backlog too. I have a whole bunch of them filmed. I have a couple I need to get done. I need to film. And I just want to get back the ball rolling on that. As for game reviews, I'm currently working on one. I just finished the script. It's probably going to be one of my longest ones yet. I'm not going to reveal what it is because it's going to be a surprise, and it will come out before the end of this month. That's my goal. So, I'm also going to be starting, probably if not this month, sometime next month, my long list of requests / donation games. And I actually have one that was the second request I ever got, which was way back in 2007 from a friend. That'll be the first one on the list, and then I'll be getting to some more requests that... Let me just level with you here. A lot of the games this year are going to be pretty bad ones that I review, so heads up on that. As for the Under Oath retrospective, I'd like to have a new episode out, if not this month or next month, by March latest. This next episode is going to be a big one because it's not talking about Under Oath at all, but bands that have to do with them, and there's 3 of them that I picked. And each of these bands has a decent amount of content, so I'm going to have to comb through a lot of stuff before I even think about getting that episode done. So that is probably going to be a February-March thing, but if something happens, I'll get back to work on it here. But my main focus after that one review that I'm working on this month is getting back on track with Tough Enough, because all I have to do is edit the main review part, and then I'm gonna have to get stuff from other people for the skit that's at the end of it. Actually, you guys know about it, but I haven't bugged you about it because it's just a one-liner, and we'll worry about that at another time. So, but yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and I'm really sorry the season finale that took us off the corner isn't out yet. Again, I was sick. I was going to edit it this week, but I got sick, and I decided just to take it easy instead of pushing myself, so that is coming eventually too. So that's all. That's a huge list of stuff. I'm sorry I talked your guys' ear off with that, but I have a lot of shit to do.
Alright, well, before we wrap this up, I just want to remind people that by the time this podcast goes up, Awesome Games Done Quick 2014 will be in full effect.
Yeah!
It is a marathon that runs until January 11th, where a bunch of people gather and speed run games 24/7. If you've never seen it before, you've got to check it out. They do all sorts of like skill-based stuff, glitches, weird shit that goes on in some games. Like, you remember the Sonic 06 run? That was pretty nuts.
They only did silver though, but still. That's like the most broken one.
Yeah, and their goal this year is to raise $500,000 for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. All donations go directly to that. And the marathon, actually at the time of this recording, the marathon hasn't actually started yet, and they've already got $915.
Wow.
It's definitely for a good cause, as they say. Seriously.
Yep, so if you want to check that out, you can go to gamesdonequick.com. Or you can just look at their Twitch page, which is Speed Doma's Archive SDA. But with that out of the way, I'm SCXCR.
I'm Unreal.
I'm Zeromaster.
And if you excuse me, I'm gonna go buy those Dragon Sound t-shirts.
I won't stop you.
Come on, guys. Let's do it.